you cannot cure diseases.
Yeah.
So right now, if you have diabetes and you do something, whatever it is, and then you get rid of your diabetes, medicine will say it was probably a wrong diagnosis or it's a miracle.
Yeah.
The fact that the body really cures does not really exist. And this is maintained by the pharmaceutical model that we have, where nothing in medicine today cures you. It only increases your quality of life, and oftentimes by a pill or something that you need to take for the rest of your lives.
Right.
Now stem cells come and they repair. They disrupt this entire industry that is meant to not cure you. And I'm sad to say it, but I think it is all about bottom line. It's balance sheet.
Sure.
Like it's profit. You profit so much more from somebody who has a disease if you maintain this for the rest of the person's life versus curing the person. And I think that the big knot is right there. Medicine could tap into stem cells and cure a lot of stuff, but it disrupts the entire fabric of the medical system.
Yeah. And this is kind of where we come back to the beginning of the conversation. That's what regenerative medicine is. But it's hard to make consistent profit on regenerative medicine because it's so easy to make profit on just treating symptoms and not really repairing tissue. So, well, I think you're going to change that paradigm. I mean, you're doing it, man. It's quite incredible. And I feel like everywhere I go these days, what you're talking about is more and more in the public conversation. So are you feeling that as well?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And what I'm talking about here, like it's not just an idea. Here's a little snapshot. When I published my book, Cracking the Stem Cell Code, so this was in 2010. So at the time, Obama had just removed the ban that Bush had put on embryonic stem cell research. So I hired a PR firm with the intent of going in the media and educating about stem cells, because in those days, everybody thought that stem cells was Frankenstein medicine and killing babies. And it was never killing babies. So there was a lot of re-education and clarification of that confusion to be done. So I was scheduled on a lot of shows. Good Morning America, CNN, like a lot of these shows. I did not do one of them. Every single one of them was canceled.
Oh my God.
Like a week before. Some of them twice. I walk in the studio and they say, oh, it's canceled. And I say, why is it canceled? And one of those studios, Radio Canada, told me, oh, we don't have the equipment to do the recording. Give me a break. Yeah. So at some point, even my PR firm was like, they could not explain what was happening. And then I get a phone call. The person did not identify himself. And he's telling me, and by the way, at the same time, I had just published my book, and I suddenly get investigated by the International Society for Stem Cell Research. It's like you getting investigated by AAA because you bought a car that they don't like. Like, it's completely ridiculous. So I get this phone call, and the fellow is telling me, he says, well, I heard what is happening to you. He says, I read your book. He says, you put the finger on it, but he said, you're missing the big picture. And I said, what? Then tell me. He says, what do you think is the mission of the International Society for Stem Cell Research? And in those days, you would go to one of their annual conferences, and there was half a day on adult stem cells, and the rest was all about embryonic stem cells. So I say, well, they're focusing on embryonic stem cells. And he says, that's where you're completely missing the picture. Pharma has given $10 million to a group to create this organization to cloud adult stem cells, making people think that the future is with embryonic stem cells, to allow pharma to grasp adult stem cells because they knew that it was curative, and it was the biggest challenge in their entire existence, because they're not curative, they're just palliative, which is way more profitable. And it's an amazing business model. So they're trying to capture stem cells. And now the best way to have captured it today is sell you a little vial of umbilical cord stem cells. That's the way that they have found to recapture that. So it's this story that has allowed me to see how much it's this business model of medicine that prevents people from really having access to what is truly curative and regenerative.